7. Barrett outside, the switch. Doncic goes, oh, what a great step! And then he hammers it home! Broke his ankles!
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all is well. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I really do appreciate it. So the New York Knicks did not come out victorious last night, as the final score in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, taking on the Bucks was 119 to 108, and this was definitely an interesting game because the Bucks managed to score 119 points. The Knicks managed to score 108 points, but the final field goal percentages, the New York Knicks ended up shooting 39% from the field, and the Milwaukee Bucks ended up shooting 38%. And not like they were consistently splashing from beyond the arc the entire game as well. But we're going to be getting into some moments also in this game that the Bucks had a huge stretch, and one of the main reasons they did go on to come out victorious, because this is a pretty sloppy game offensively when it came to that first half. We know Grayson Allen entering this game was really struggling shooting from the field. Drew Holiday was really struggling entering this game shooting from the field. If it was just like mid-range territory, even at the basket from beyond the arc, he was shooting really piss poor. And to start off this game, though, it was literally just a one-man show with Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I thought the Knicks game plan just didn't work. But not many game plans are going to work versus Giannis, because you cannot defend him one-on-one. It has to be a collective team effort. You're going to have to be disciplined. You're going to have to position yourself very well defensively. And there was moments I'm like, there Giannis is again in the dunker spot, or we're not boxing out. And this team just flat out needs to do a better job boxing out. But yeah, anyway, Giannis out in transition. 8-0 run, they're up 8-0. But after that, the Bucks didn't really do much offensively in that first quarter, but the Knicks also didn't do much as well. So the bad to start off in this game, there was more bad than good, if I'm being real. I'm not going to try to be negative or anything like that. The New York Knicks just did not play good good brand of basketball. When we faced adversity, being down 8-0, we looked like the New York Knicks of last season, settling for shots outside on the perimeter. You know, Randall settling for shots he took outside. You know, there was no ball movement, a very vanilla ran offense, and because we don't have a Kevin Durant, because we don't have James Harden, those ISO types of scores, that can get us in trouble. But regardless, you got to be able to move the basketball. That's what great teams do. That's why the Bucks won a championship, you know, because they have guys that are within them. They're willing to move the ball within the flow of the offense. Giannis knows he's amazing, but he's also willing to give up the ball because the defense is attracted on him. But anyway, Julius Randle did not play a good game. He didn't. I thought, yeah, he really didn't. I can't even say he distributed the basketball, because not many people really did, or players on the Knicks really did. RJ continued to miss open threes outside on the perimeter. He was really bad when it came to the first half. I do think he has improved defensively, but where we definitely need to work is the defensive rebound department. We get these second chance opportunities if it's Hartenstein or even Mitchell Robinson. We know Mitchell Robinson's one of the best or top 3 in the league when it comes to offensive rebounds. He finished with 8 rebounds last night. 8 or 9 rebounds, but like 4 of them were offensive rebounds. He needs to do a better job boxing out. Brook Lopez got him into foul trouble, and even when Hartenstein came in, foul trouble. It's so hard to match up against Giannis or Brook Lopez when they're inside in the interior, because they're such a threat. Maybe that forced Randall to take some shots outside on the perimeter, but they're so physical, they're so disciplined, and they're just so engaged that it's tough to box these guys out. But there's no excuses. Mitchell Robinson got a contract. He needs to do a better job positioning himself, be more disciplined on the defense side of the basketball, but he got pushed around. It was like watching an all-pro offensive line go up against high schoolers last night when it came to just dominance in the inside, you know, or just Lawrence Taylor killing you as well, or something like that, you know. We just got manhandled when it came to the interior, and we didn't even have a chance. But again, not like they were killing us offensively in the first half. They only had 2 double-digit leading scorers when it came to the first half, or 2 double-digit scores of Bobby Portis and Giannis Antetokounmpo. And Bobby Portis came in, jab step, pull-up jumper, huge offensive rebound that we're going to be getting into as well. And Giannis was able to do his thing. Just an overall very solid game. He almost had a triple-double. He had like 30 points. 11 rebounds, 9 assists. He was 1 assist away from a triple-double. I do believe that, or maybe he had 14 rebounds. But Giannis was just way too comfortable. We didn't bottle him up. And whenever it did look like maybe this game was getting interesting, or when we would have a chance to go on a run, or maybe even cut it down to a 1-point game, or take the lead, or a tie or something, they were just able to respond. Or sometimes we would shoot ourselves in the foot, because Fournier had a stupid turnover, I remember at the beginning of the game. We're just missing open shots, and we just saw as well that Jalen Brunson, we took away Jalen Brunson's security blanket of Mitchell, or the Bucks took away Jalen Brunson's security blanket of Mitchell Robinson around the rim. Went to throw it up. Brook Lopez's length, Giannis just absolutely took it away. But quickly came off the bench. I thought 2 players from the bench played very well. Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickly. And you just got to give credit to Obi Toppin. In only 17 minutes of action, he should have got a lot more minutes the way the starting unit was playing and the way Julius Randle was playing in this game. Obi Toppin ended up with 11 points. He comes in the game and has this ridiculous step-back three-pointer over Drew Holiday, which was very impressive. His shot looks a lot more fluid this year. There's been more good than bad. It's still a very early sample size, but that shot looks very fluid. There was one nice play in transition, leaked out, ran the floor very well. Alley-oop slam, and he even had a very nice defensive possession that he was very disciplined. You see the improvement on defense, so I'm proud of Obi Toppin. Wish he got more action, but, Obi and Quickly definitely have that great chemistry together. Quickly's going to have his questionable decision-making on offense if it's sometimes passing the ball into traffic, jumping on his passes, or taking questionable shots, but he gave us a spark when he checked in this game. Same thing with the Obi Toppin. And when Quickly came in this game, he knocked down back-to-back threes. It actually was enough to give us the lead because both of these teams were so stagnant offensively, but we were kind of just fighting back constantly in that first half from like a 6 to 8 point lead from the Milwaukee Bucks. But then we started to get some stops. We started to gain some momentum from that second unit. Hartenstein, I thought he played hard. He didn't necessarily play smart. Outside of those push-shot floaters, I didn't think he was that good necessarily in this game, but this is where we shot ourselves in the foot. Quickly knocks down back-to-back threes. We have a one point lead. It did not last long at all because we did not box out. Bucks miss a shot, and the Bucks come down with it. Bobby Portis puts it up and in, and they get the lead back. And Mitch, to give him credit, he had a very nice moment. Like, he had 2 offensive rebounds in a row, kicked it out to an Evan Fournier. He's going to give you second chance opportunities, but still being disciplined. He needs to work on that. He really does. Jalen Brunson, I thought he was all right through this game. He finished with 2 assists. You look at the overall assist numbers. Jalen Brunson had 2 assists. RJ had maybe 1 or 2 assists. Julius Randle had 2 assists. Our assist leader was Derrick Rose coming off the bench with 4 assists. Like, we had to do a better job distributing the basketball. We shouldn't have went away from our identity. Even when you're going through adversity, you still got to be able to trust your teammates. And I feel like the New York Knicks did not consistently do that throughout this game. So when it came to the second quarter, Obi Toppin knocking down some threes. He looks good. Nice step back three. His shot looked very good in this game. He's like this. The second unit flows. That's what I love. We just thrive off of each other. We move the basketball. Derrick Rose comes in, lightning bolt, just goes down the floor, finishes very well. A very impressive mid-range pull-up jumper over Giannis. That might have been at the end of the first quarter or beginning of the second quarter, but it still ties into this. The second unit played extremely well. But this is where I have a problem with Thibodeau. He did this a couple times in this game, and I don't think it's ever going to change because he's not willing to make changes as a coach when it comes to this. Just he has set rotations. When a rotation is working for him, or when he has set rotations, he's not willing to make adjustments within the flow of the game. He's like, all right, I have this written down right here. I'm gonna have RJ coming in at the certain time or Julius Randle. It's like he doesn't adjust or recognize what's going on in the game, and the second unit is working. He just takes them out, and it just really frustrated me. But we absolutely had no answer for Giannis. We had no answer for Brook Lopez in the interior. Just Javon Carter was doing some solid things defensively as well, to give him credit. But what I really was frustrated with was just our lack of execution and just continuing to shoot ourselves in the foot, because it looked like the Bucks were starting to get cold a little bit. Like, they had tons of ups and downs offensively, and Drew Holiday continued to struggle offensively in this game. Eventually kind of did get it going. I know he wasn't that efficient, but Knicks get a couple stops. We get some flow going, and the Knicks are out in transition. They have a chance to tie this game entering halftime, or have a chance. Randle gives it up to Hartenstein. Maybe Hartenstein is afraid of the presence of Lopez and Giannis in the interior. Gives it up to an RJ Barrett. Misses that easy push-shot floater. Like, it's no one's even near him. Like, he always misses that point-blank shot. I'm not trying to overreact, but just does he have no touch? To give him credit, though, he has been better defensively these last couple of games, but he needs to knock down his open shots. Like, sometimes he'll finish like a drive that he has no business of making, like one really impressive finish around the basket yesterday with like one hand, but then he misses like these point-blank shots. He didn't miss as many point-blank shots as the day before, like talking about finishing at the basket, but he just flat out needs to do better. He needs to do a better job reading the floor, but also I'm not making excuses for RJ. This is like a statement year. It's your 4th year in the league. There's we could talk about how he's not treated that well within the flow of the offense, or the offense in general. We give him this money, but you still have the same set plays of him in the corner. I really don't understand that. He's not a pure shooter of the ball. You need him to constantly be moving. Maybe it's because he's not versatile enough shooting jump shots off the dribble. I don't know what it is, what Tibbs is looking through or what Lancey's looking through, but he still needs to do better. He needs to hit point-blank shots at the rim. That's not a rhythm thing. You have to finish that shit. It's no excuses. Don't baby him, and he needs to hit his open shots. He does. He just flat out does. And what else when you take a look at this thing is, yeah, we had a chance to tie. RJ ended up missing that easy push shot, and then the Bucks go on a run. They end up going up like 6 or 8 points. They ended up hitting threes. I believe like Javon Carter hit a three, Grayson Allen hit a three. But then Brunson did a good job responding, getting buckets. And then Brunson hits this half-court shot. I'm like, holy shit, we're only down 3 entering halftime. It looks like we may have some momentum in Wisconsin or Milwaukee or whatever. But it's right off his fingertips. Doesn't count. And it kind of of course, the value of the shot is completely different because we would have won the game if it went in. Like, it was a chance to be a game-winning buzzer beater. But when the shot went off of Porzingis' fingertips versus the Hornets, he didn't get it off. But this one was closer. But in my opinion, he didn't get it off. But he was close to hitting this half-court shot. He drained it, but went off of his fingertips. And we were down 6 entering that third quarter. And the third quarter was when it was a disaster. So they had 2 double-digit scores, the Milwaukee Bucks, in that first half. But after that, they ended up having 7 double-digit scores. Like Drew Holiday, he didn't finish with great efficiency, but he started to knock down his shots. Our perimeter defense absolutely went away. There was one moment Holiday missed a shot, but he was able to just gather himself like a warm-up shot, take one dribble, and shoot a shot. Didn't go in. Brook Lopez hit a ridiculous fadeaway jumper. They had like 3 or 4 players, I believe, that had over 10 rebounds. We had 1 in Randall, but you're double-checking here, looking at the box score. Giannis had 14 rebounds. Lopez had 11. Yeah, Bobby Portis that had 12, and he had, that's ridiculous. He had 8 offensive rebounds. Like, we need to do a better job. They're like 8 offensive rebounds. That is pathetic. That is unacceptable. Like, I don't know what we're working on in practice when it comes to rebounding. We just flat out needed to be better. But Grayson Allen, he got it going from beyond the arc even more. He hit a ridiculous circuit shot. And when it felt like when they're going on that run, it wasn't just purely Giannis. It was Javon Carter. It was just other guys as well really contributing to this team. Just they're an overall solid ball club, and they're able to come up with stops. The Knicks were just one and done on offense because we went away from the ball movement. So yes, it was disgusting. It was awful, and they went on an 18-0 run. But RJ did cut it down to a 13-point game, though. That made it kind of interesting. The most we cut it down to was 11. But it was kind of too little too late. At the end of the game, we missed some free throws. The Bucks eventually did get timely buckets. They got timely buckets after just having an entire dry spell in the fourth quarter. They couldn't make a shot. That's why they shot 38%. But RJ was thriving with that push shot. He knocked down a 3, which cut it to a 13-point game. But he just looked more aggressive. He looked more decisive. And that was with the second unit. That's when we had Obi out there. And that's when we had Quickly out there. And then after it was thriving, I don't know if it was a fatigue thing or what, but Tibbs took him out of the game. Starters come back in. Just as a unit, they didn't look that good. I don't know if we're fatigued. We dug ourselves into such a big hole. We also just have to give credit to the Milwaukee Bucks. They're a very good defense. They're 3-0 entering this game. They're 4-0 now. I know the Nets, they've had their ups and downs, but at the end of the day, the Nets, it's less than 10 games in the season. I know they still have a lot to figure out, but still going up against some of the best players in the game with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. The Wizards started off 10-3 last season. You think the Wizards were really going to end up being that great? No, they won 30 games. We started off 6-1. We won 37 games. We don't know a team's true identity that far into the season. Sixers still going to be impressive, even though we'll see their longevity with Doc Rivers. But yeah, there was too much dribbling. We were on discipline. Yeah, they went on that crazy run. Quickly, I thought, scored the ball pretty well. Again, he had some questionable shots. He gained us some type of momentum and gave us life. And it's just we weren't ultimately able to build off of it because the Bucks were still getting some decent shots and were hitting some decent shots in some decent moments. And at the end of the day, we needed more than RJ, Quickly, and Obi to step up. And Obi ultimately, he had 11 points, but he only played 17 minutes. We should have saw more of Obi out there. But the Bucks had 7 guys that contributed highly in scoring, on defense. And the Knicks had maybe 2 or 3 solid players. We needed more players to step up. Ultimately, the starters weren't consistent. Maybe Bronson had some solid moments. But, yeah, there were some questionable calls as well. Maybe they should have called a charge. They were saying slight torso movement when I thought it was a charge. Or also they called a jump ball. Or they were able to call a timeout during, I thought it was a jump ball. I didn't think anyone had possession of the basketball. And the Bucks were able to just get it there. Yeah, just an ugly game. Knicks needed to do a better job defending the perimeter, rebounding, ball movement. This team still has a lot to work on it, and we ultimately need a star or some player to start playing like a star to step up if we want to be out of this, because the scare is the mediocre stage. Yes, it may be too early to be talking about that, but we need RJ to take some type of leap so then there's no ceiling on this team, because we have some decent players, but there's no all-star on this team as of right now that could really elevate this team. That's why we're relying upon RJ. But let's start off with knocking down some open threes first before I could talk about creating jump shots off the dribble and that type of thing. But hopefully he's trending in the right direction. We played a very good basketball team, like no doubt about it. They're 4-0 for a reason. They've dealt with some adversity in the past. One of the main reasons they're NBA champions. Let me know down below your thoughts on this game. Rotations need to be better. Just making better adjustments. Like when a unit is thriving, why do you take them out? It's just like he has a set rotation. Let me know down below your thoughts. Peace out, y'all.